Hi everyone! Thank you so much for visiting my page. Today's workout is a gentle, absolute beginner's workout that touches on the abs, the glutes, and the arms. All you need is a mat or something to lie down on. When you're ready, let's get started. All right, when you're ready, let's find your knees down to the mat. But if you do not like this position, being seated down to your seat is also an option. Let's send your arms above your head, fingers clasped together. We'll start with our side bend, sending your right ear towards the ground, stretching out the side of our body. And then we come up through center, take a big inhale, and exhale up and over to the other side. Good, let's come through center here. And let's turn to find your hands and knees for just a moment. When you're ready, let's press to our pike position, lifting your hips, arms, and legs go straight. And we'll start to prance or walk through our feet to stretch out our Achilles, behind our ankles, and our calf muscles. Maybe shaking your head yes and no. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll come back down to your knees. And we'll do a little spine twist. Let's send your right arm straight up to the sky and we'll twist to look at it. And then we come back down through center and switch to the other side. Twist. And then come back down. Let's take one more each. Lift and twist. And replace before we lift and twist. And replace. Lovely. All right, when you're ready, let's come down to your seat. We'll have your feet to the end of the mat and we'll scooch forward just a little bit closer towards them. Let's have your arms in front of you and we'll just start with a slow roll down, transition to the mat. Arms are in front of you, in front of the chest. Big inhale through the nose, growing taller, closing the ribs together. We send our tailbone under and we start to slowly roll down towards the mat. Feeling your abs engaging, trying your best not to collapse all the way down, really trying to stay in control. Good, starting to feel our upper back towards the mat, feeling our shoulders and our head. Nice. When you're ready, we'll step your feet a little closer in towards your glutes. Then your hands create a small diamond shape to rest on top of your lower belly and pelvis. Let's do a quick body scan. So we find the back of our head touching the mat. We feel some space underneath our neck. We feel our upper back touching the mat. We feel our lower back lifted a little bit away from the mat, maybe about the size of a blueberry. We can fit under there. We feel our booty and hips. We feel our thighs lifted and our feet planted. So getting into pelvic rocks. We'll start to just move the low back and the pelvis. So we squish that blueberry underneath your low back, pressing the pelvis forward. And then we open our ribs a little bit more as we lift the low back away from the mat. Exhale to press and tilt. Inhale, we lift. Squeezing the abs, we press and tilt. And release. Good. Each time that we squish that blueberry underneath our low back, we want to engage the abs just a little bit more. Thinking about if you were to sneeze or cough or forcibly exhale, you'd feel your muscles in your belly harden a little bit. That's the feeling that we want to be feeling. Every time we squish, we squeeze, and then we release. The next time that we press, let's pause there. Good. From here, we start to lift your right leg to tabletop, and then we put it back down, reaching it towards the end of the mat. Nice. Good. Same thing with the other side. We lift, and then put it back down. Nice. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice. Imagining we're trying to dip our toe into a glass of water that's rested at the end of the mat. but we don't want the leg to go straight. Trying to keep it as bent as you can while reaching the toe far away from you. Trying to keep that low back pressed down to the mat. The next time we have both feet down, let's pause. We have both of our ankles closer towards each other in a parallel position. And we'll take the double toe tap, both legs rising at once. Checking in with our back, are we pressing into the mat? And then we lower just halfway down, feeling our abs engaged. We lift, inhale, exhale, lower just halfway, lift, and lower. Good, let's take 2 more. And let's start to lift our arms straight up towards the sky as we continue. Good. The next time we find our tabletop position, let's pause there. Good, from here, keep your ankles glued together, but we separate your knees as we prep for butterfly presses. When you're ready, we lift your head, sending both of your hands in between the space of your legs. And then we relax your head back down, arms come up. Big inhale. Exhale, lift. And return. Feeling just the base of the shoulder blades. Those stay down on the mat. And we lift our head, neck, and shoulders. Good. The next time that we find your legs lifted, the toes and ankles are together, knees separated, arms up. We'll lift your head, sending your hands in between the space of your legs. And as we rest our head back down and the arms up, we lower your toes towards the end of the mat for our double toe tap. We lift, sending your hands in between the space of the legs, curling up. And we reverse, tapping your head and your toes down at the same time. Good. Let's take just 2 more. You're doing great. Good. The next time that we curl in the hands or in between the space of the legs, let's pause there. From here, we pulse up, 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 squeezing the abs, lifting the chest a little bit higher. Good. Let's take 3, squeeze, 2, exhale, and we release and lower the head back down. Let's keep those legs in tabletop. We'll take just 1 more ab exercise in this position, and then we'll change to something different. From here, we simply separate your knees and ankles and then tap them back together. Separate the knees and ankles and tap them back together. Nice, good. Continuing here, checking in with our back once more, making sure our lower back is pressed down into the mat. Good. Beautiful. The next time that we tap your knees and ankles together, let's hold that. Maintaining your back pressing into the mat, we start to stretch both of your legs to a long diagonal hold for just a moment. We separate the legs, we tap them back together, and then we pull them into table. Nice. Separate the legs. Stretch the legs long. Separate the legs. Table as we pull them back in. Good. Stretch the legs out. Separate the legs. Tap together. And then pull to table. Nice. Extend. Separate. Tap together. And table. Let's take 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Let's find your legs and table for just 1 last little burner. We extend your legs out and hold. Good. Pressing the back down, we tap and tap and tap for 3 and 2 and 1, and we table to rest. Beautiful. Okay. Let's have your feet stay down to the mat. We'll walk them back in towards your glutes just a little bit more. We don't want them too far away. Relaxing your head, relaxing your hands. Let's do a little bit of bridge. When you're ready, we take an inhale through the nose. As we exhale, we lift your hips, finding the pelvis and the belly up towards the sky. And then we slowly roll through the spine, upper back, middle back, lower back, coming all the way down. Inhale, we exhale, lift. And we roll through the spine, upper back, middle back, lower back, coming all the way back down. Good, let's take 3 more. Nice, 2 more. Good, let's lift your hips to the top and hold that. From here, we start to lift your heels off of the mat, and then we put them back down. Good, heels lift, and then they lower. Nice. Starting to feel our calf muscles a little bit more. Let's go for 3. Good, 2. Your choice, you can keep the heels down or lift them up, but we'll pulse our hips up and down an inch for 3. Good, 2. And then we rest our hips back down. Nice. Okay, let's bring our right leg only straight up for a stretch. We'll grasp behind our knee or calf muscle. We'll pull the leg in towards your face and stretch it out. We can roll the ankle out, we can point and flex the toe, whatever feels good. Good. Let's start to lift your head, bring the nose a little closer in towards the knee. Deepening the stretch a little bit more. From here, let's start to stretch your opposite leg a little bit longer, hovering over the mat to a high diagonal. When you're ready, we take an inhale and we exhale, switch for a scissor. Let's take 8 and switch 7 and switch 6. Good, 5. Nice, 4. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 2. Good, and let's find the other side. And we stretch that leg in towards your face, relaxing the head. We can roll out the ankle. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, when you're ready, let's start to rock and roll up to seated, finding a comfortable place. Let's turn around, finding your hands and knees for our last exercise before we stretch. Let's do a little bit of beginner plank. So when you're ready, we'll have your hands beneath your shoulders. And we want to walk your knees backwards just a little bit more. You're going to feel the pelvis starting to come down towards the mat. That's what we want to be feeling. Toes curl under. Let's take an inhale through the nose, rolling the shoulders down and back, separating the shoulder blades, lifting away from the collarbones. We inhale through the nose and we exhale, lift your knees just an inch. And then we find straight legs. Good, bending, we tap the mat. Good, lifting and stretch the legs all the way out. And then we bend to tap the mat. Nice. Lift and tap and lift and tap. Good. Let's take just a few more. Last 3. Good. 2. Nice. We lift, finding straight legs. Hold that and breathe. Good. Don't let your belly fall down. Close the ribs together, hollowing in the back, engaging your abs. Good. And then we tap our knees down to rest. Beautiful. All right, let's start to stretch. I'll meet you sitting on both of your glutes, legs crossed, one in front of the other. Let's have your right hand come down to the mat as we come up, bend over in our side bend, reaching the opposite arm overhead. Good, let's roll through our center, sending your nose down in between the space of the legs, and then we arrive to the other side. Good, let's roll through center once more. We'll start to stack our bones. We'll start to send our arms above our head, the palms touch. Nice big inhale, and we exhale, hands to your heart. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.